Sagittarius, don't you just love how shit you thought was going to end up bad ends up good? And I drew these cards. And I was like, of course it's Sagittarius. Who could take something like this? Something that's really hard to hear, but something actually that you've probably known for quite some time. You haven't wanted to talk about it. It's not really about suppression. It's about moving on. It's about deciding that it wasn't that important. It wasn't the direction that you were going, so you left it in the past. But ultimately, there were these things. They were these feelings. They were these connections. They were. Were is a major word here. But ultimately, it's like turning all this around to end up being something that actually helps to push you in a good direction, in a direction that actually works a little bit more for you. There is a little bit of he said, she said drama. There is definitely a sense of give it over to God because I'm in an oh shit situation, so I don't really know what to do about this. And it's in those decisions that you are like, well, let's see what happens, that I think your luck is really discovered, because you allow the circumstance to play out. You allow the situation to just be what it is, which is actually essentially in some ways allowing the universe to be part of the conversation and not necessarily always trying to bully it or manipulate it into one corner. This sense of you giving it a little bit of birth and room so that it can be so that before you make, so it can reveal a little bit of its hand to you. And before you make any next move, you get a little bit more information. And so your decisions are informed decisions. So that is sort of the channeled message. But ultimately, the North Node is in your, no, the moon is in your 7th house. The North Node is now in your 6th. And the clusterfuck of planets in Aquarius is happening in your 2nd house. Mercury is in your 3rd. And guess who's in your 4th house? Chiron. Yeah. And that leaves the rebeller, the rebellion, the rebellious one, the new, the want of new, the want to change in your 5th house. So that tells me you're going to be really, really action-packed and quick to side in the favor of what really matters to your heart. And ultimately, people can tell you a lot of bad shit, but if you're aligned with your heart, there's nothing that you can't forgive, let go of, or get through. It's true. And I think that that's why everything is working in your favor right now. There's some sort of really happy positioning between, as we begin this week, between the moon and your moon in your 2nd house. And I am wondering if there isn't some, I don't know, connection between a family member giving you money being inherited, or even just an opportunity, like little opportunities that could add up to bigger opportunities. Finding out that your spouse is getting a raise, or that more money was brought in than you expected, or that somehow unexpected resources are coming to you. Why not take them? But there's that caveat this week. And that caveat is, why not take them from somebody who may have tried to hook you, or may have tried to add something onto, like provisions onto the gifts, or this could be coming through somebody that you had a past relationship with, somebody that maybe it won't be so good right now for your current relationship to have to go back to that person, but you're not asking for this help. That's what I really want to point out to you. You're not asking for this help. This help is coming to you. And in your mindset, I should take abundance wherever it comes from. And I agree with that philosophy. I think that you should take abundance wherever it comes from. The issue is kind of like doing it on the up and up outright, or somebody finding out that this is where you got the help from and then being pissed or frustrated about it. Because there's definitely a knowledge here. I'm not going to say you, them. There's definitely a knowledge here. There was emotions that are coming up to the surface. Somebody blabs them, or there's a realization. It's like, oh, I always knew that you felt that way. And now it's coming out as we're trying to move on to the next phase. It's almost like pulling us back. I'll tell you why it's pulling it back, because because there's also attachment on the other side. There's somebody that's like, it's like you're friends with the person who used to be your lover, and that's why you don't want to hurt them or harm them. It's not because you're still in love with them. These are all metaphors, by the way. You know what I'm saying? It's just because you're over it, so it doesn't matter that the person is in your life. They don't hold the same value that they used to have in your life. But there's this sense of, I will say this to you, them harboring some old feelings that they have not completely and totally been honest with you about. And there could be this caveat from their perspective that, they want to impress you. They want to get your attention again. They haven't 100% let go. Okay, so now I ask this question, and you know this. There's some sense in you that you know this, or you know that this is all happening somewhere in your realm. May even be happening to your spouse. You know that this is all going on, and you're definitely like wanting to cut these ties and just be like, nah, peace out, bitch. This isn't going to happen. I don't. No, but ultimately then it makes you think, well, am I being too harsh? What, maybe am I being too harsh? Are they going to get mad at me for feeling this way or for saying something? Am I causing a problem where it doesn't need to be? Because this is a very emotionally vulnerable time, okay? I know that you're a fire sign, but the moon affects us all the time. It's probably one of the most impactful planets or planetary bodies because it's so close to us. The moon is in very emotional Cancer and very volatile and demanding Leo for most of this week. And then it goes into a more level-headed but worrisome Virgo. So the moon isn't in the best positions to feel emotionally stable. I know that the moon is at home in Cancer, but that kind of is where, let me tell you from experience, because I have a moon in Cancer, my natal moon is in Cancer. When the moon is in Cancer, it gets a little too comfortable with itself. It gets a little too comfortable with its fucking moodiness. And it's just that kind of like sense of like, this is going to be a nostalgic and emotional time right now. Nostalgic could for you be playing out in terms of a timeline, past, present, future, some sort of emotions or emotional connections to people in the past or things, ways that you felt about even could be something, some subject matter in the past that's somehow impacting today, like this moment. And because the moon is going through your 7th house right now, it's going to cause some issue. That's why I'm saying it could be your partner, or it could just be like the emotions in the home right now. They don't necessarily have to be bad, but I don't think they'll be altogether comfortable. I do see you wanting to cut ties with something from the past, wanting to leave it behind you, and this being a really good opportunity to do it, but how will you be perceived? Will they be suspicious? Will they think you're trying to hide something? And it's really not even about that, but this is all the kinds of craziness that's happening. And it's almost like that's the karmic payoff. All this craziness that's happening is the karmic payoff for the goodness that's coming in, because there is definitely stabilizing resources that are coming into you right now that are going to help you progress forward. Even though it's emotional and it's crazy, it may feel like it comes at really high expense. And it maybe it does, but ultimately, how much is it worth to you? I think that's what you have to kind of question. I got this card first and foremost, which means that there's little bits of luck. So it may not be big luck, like the fucking one person who won the lottery, $1 billion. Like, that was supposed to be my ticket. Like, angels knew that. I don't know why that ticket didn't come to me, right? It was in Michigan, one person, right? It's not like that. It's little bits of luck, like little smiles or little congratulations from your boss, or just things that you didn't expect to working out, progressing through even a game that you're playing faster than you normally do. It's these little bits of luck that I really want you to focus on this week, because because not focus as in like obsess, but focus as in be grateful for, because though being grateful for these little successes is what's going to usher in the bigger successes. And then we have dog and fox. Now one is loyal and one is deceitful, and it could be a deceitful friend, or a friend, somebody that was deceitful now turning out to be the person that you're supposed to trust. You can never completely trust somebody who betrayed you. And you never completely should. But it is true and rational to understand that they're not always pieces of garbage. Sometimes they're useful. And I do feel like there's going to be some sort of usefulness in your life right now of somebody that you could not previously trust. Give it over to God. Let him see where it takes it. I think that's part of the context of just handing yourself over to the divine. And because ultimately it's like follow your instincts, trust your instincts. If for some reason you're willing to trust this person now, even though you know that they're not the most trustworthy person, or that you really don't want connection with them in the future. And that's the caveat. That's the one thing that I'm going to warn you. And I'm going to say, watch out for them trying to, they may be drawing you closer, and they may do for you what they promised to do this time, but they might also be trying to sneak a hook in you to keep you where they want you. But ultimately, this is what it's saying, is if you give it over to God, then you're going to be safe. Even if that means them revealing themselves and you not taking the help from them. It's okay. In some cases, that may be the information that you need, right? To keep you out of trouble. But in other cases, it may be that they help you and you can get away. Follow your intuition. Follow that little voice inside of you that is telling you let Jesus take the wheel. Like trust God here. Say yes. There is an offer that's being made, and it does have no romantic nuances. The message here is blatant. At least entertain it. Open yourself up to it. Not necessarily. Let me go back. There's so much information coming out at the same time. I'm so sorry, Sagittarius. Even if there are romantic nuances, especially if this is your partner, there's a sense of, you may realize that somebody is trying to get with them. As long as they're listening to you and be like, I know, but ultimately it is going to help us if we say yes to this right now. And if I trust your partner is what it's saying. And also do not say no to any opportunities that could help you, especially on a project that you've been working on, something that you've been trying to get off the ground for a while. So it feels like making a deal with the devil, but that's the whole thing. You're not making a deal. Don't make deals. Don't sign on the dotted line. Know that you're dealing with the devil. Look the devil in the eye and be like, you don't think I know that you're the devil? Okay, then we're going to do this my way, or I'm okay. I can take this in a different direction. Really, really have faith and believe that even though emotions may be running high, that things may feel very volatile, or you may feel very vulnerable right now, that what's the impossible is about to happen. That what you seemed behind on, or the impediment that felt that it was insurmountable, is actually really unobstructing right now. It's sort of opening up. This is where I tell you your emotions, somebody is revealing your emotions. Somebody knows. They're conscious of what you feel deep down inside. There's an awareness here, right? And there's definitely a sense of having this connection. They're not part of your future, but they were a friend in the past, or you're almost trying to honor a friendship that you did have with them, or honor what your relationship used to be, not to get it back, but in some ways to just let it go for good. But you don't want to be mean to this person, but I can confirm for you right now, there is a subverted not mental, I'm losing words, I don't know why. There is a motivation, there's a subverted motivation, and you can feel it. I am truth. This is don't doubt yourself. Don't sit in the corner and pretend that you're okay with something that you're not. Don't. Be very honest about what you're feeling right now. And I think this is the key to your success right now. I will confirm in tarot. I will come. That link is below. A full tarot card reading of what are your major challenges and where are the deceptions happening and how do you overcome them and move through them. All that we'll answer with tarot. And your romance reading is over there too. So, but this is your kind of like key right here, Sagittarius, is you don't doubt yourself. Please don't second guess yourself. If you, because you may start along a path and need to like get something from these people, but be willing to cut that shit and change. It's about what you feel, not about what they feel. You have to prioritize your emotions and your intuition right now. So ultimately there's just this sense of don't second guess yourself. Cut whatever ties you need. And literally kiss it over to God, say thank you very much, and move on. See, this is you contemplating what you believed in the past. Is this person sincere? Is this really good for me? Do I really want this? All these kind of questions could be creeping up, but I really think questioning your beliefs in this situation has to do with questioning yourself. Questioning yourself. Questioning your beliefs. Give me a second. Yeah, questioning your want to cut this motherfucker loose. Questioning your desire to oh my God. It's like you want to trust them, but you can't. It's like you want them to be for the best. You want this situation to work out. You're trying to, maybe I was channeling too much of your energy in the beginning of the reading. It's like you're trying to rectify you're trying to justify in your own head that because it's working out for me and because this person is offering me something, that I should continue to trust them. You should not continue to trust them. They do have subverted motivations, and get the fuck out of there. 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 But you're going to be okay. Just when it's becoming a problem is when you can hightail it to leave. I can almost feel like you guys are going to hang out there and stay in it for as long as you possibly can, because there's some advantage. There's some benefit. They're almost, I have to say this, they're almost tempting you. They're almost intentionally baiting you. Just gonna let you know that. Let's get into your animal totem. Let's see what they reveal. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you really like this video, like the video and then share it to your social media platforms, because that's a great way to get the word out about Born Without Boundaries. Also, ring that bell so that you get notified. I upload between 12 and 14 videos every single week. You watch your sun, also watch your moon, your rising sign, other people's signs. If you're curious, there's advice zodiac specific and not zodiac specific all throughout this channel. And there is always an extended reading, and you can subscribe directly to Vimeo too. And then you get access about a day in advance to all the extended videos, as well as to my weekly astrological forecast, which I air over there. That's 100% free. And you can watch it. It's just a weekly overview of all the how the cosmos is really going to impact all of us. And then that is also uploaded to my Instagram page. I do live readings every single day on Instagram, Monday through Friday. So join me for those. We can interact over there. Born_without_boundaries over on Instagram. So come on over and find me. Let's see what your animal totems have to say. Reclaim your power. Okay, so for me, this card could also be like stalker mentality, but I'm going to trust spirit here. Of course, I always trust spirit. There is something that you have to believe in yourself again. It's almost like in some ways the caveat is you're afraid to let this person go. You're afraid to cut them loose and call them out on their shit because ultimately you're afraid of yourself. You don't trust this aspect of yourself. I still need them. I still need them. You don't still need them. I feel like I'm envisioning something at work or some sort of opportunity. Oh, I still need them to be around. You don't need them to be around. And they are really, I think, capitalizing on the fact that you think that they need to be around, keeping themselves in your life, even though in some ways they know that you don't have the feelings for them that they want you to have. Trust in divine detours. This is your energy. Improvise. It's telling you, think on your feet this week. Do not plan too far ahead and react to your intuition. That is so important for you right now, because that's where you're giving it over to God, and God's saying, jump now, jump now. You know? Act as if, oh shit. So this is definitely taking on a disguise, but I don't think it's them. I think it's you. I think it's you just like biding your time by doing what you need to do, and just like sort of blending in, not drawing attention to yourself too much, just sort of hanging out, swivel in your swivel chair, and really take everything in. This is going to show you, not necessarily reveal truths about people, because I feel like you already know those. Oh, I'm sorry, little Wuzzy. I love you. Oh, yeah, I love my baby. My dog's sitting under my feet. I just accidentally kicked her. So, yeah. So this is about being the quiet observer, being the cautious observer, and really believing what you observe. That's also key. Ooh, you are never alone. There's some sort of love and support here. I just heard there could be somebody who is keeping how they feel about you from you, but I don't think so. I think that this is really working on your lover, your current lover. It's really pissing them off because they see that somebody has feelings for you that they don't want anywhere near you, and they think that just let them know that you know. That'll solve half your problems this week. Time for a beginner mindset. Be cautious as you walk into this new space. Like, yes, walk into this new space. Open yourself up, but also, you know, it's like somebody may get defensive with you. I'm just going to tell you that right now. This is what it's also telling me. You know, somebody that's all cute and sweet, but they'll defend themselves. And this could actually be the mentality that you're having, but I also feel like there's somebody who is ready to sting, somebody who's ready to poke or bite, especially with words, with communications here. Use your mind wisely. Cautiously go about what you do. This is also when pigs fly. Oh my God, Mercury's going into retrograde soon. Yeah. My words are already getting jumbled. Time for a beginner mind. Use your mind wisely. You're going to defend yourself as you continue to hope high hopes and do the impossible, think the impossible. It's just, this is a bumpy patch, and you may scratch your belly a little bit this week. Just saying. Life is a mystery. There is things that somebody's wearing a mask here, or something is wearing a mask here. There are things that are going to be unpredictable, the unknowns that maybe I'll get to in tarot, you know, but I like right now there's a sense of be aware that there are things that you haven't included in your rationale process because you don't know them yet, and they will come up, and if you're lucky, they'll come up because you want them to come up. Spirit has your back. So this is protection, and also watch out for messages from Spirit to guide you away from falling in those holes that will break your ankle or your hip, that kind of thing. It'll come in the form of Spirit messages, not necessarily blatant messages. Yeah. And this is Virgo energy. It could be your health. But I also felt like it could have been a family member's health that has been a little bit shaky and weary. And if you have gotten these sensations or feelings that you need to call them, pick up the phone and call them, and then talk with them or something like that, there's a sense of communication has to come because there's something that's worrying you, even if it's an irrational worry, but it isn't an irrational worry. It's actually correct worry. And things have been building over time, little by little. There's something really could potentially be disastrous here. This is Virgo energy, could also be not necessarily illness as in physiological illness or mental illness, but illness as in something has been building up. You could feel like something was off and wasn't right, and this is the confirmation. It was off. Somebody's like pooping in your pantry, right? Spreading the diseases. They're not there for all good reasons, and their effect and impact on your life, even though they look small. Oh, don't worry about it, sweetheart. He's nothing, but he is something. He is something because he carries a disease, and it could really be causing some cracks in your relationship with your spouse. So how is that really worth keeping them around? Like what benefit did they put in your life that's worth keeping them around? This is the time to be ready to cut people out, because ultimately their benefit is not so great that they're worth risking what's really important to you. Dive right in. Trust in the great mystery. Don't try to do this all on your own. Somebody will catch you. That's what I'm saying. This is also awakening to somebody else's emotions. So being understanding toward and believing them. Like not believing this, believing sincere emotions, believing somebody that you know has your back. Trusting them and maybe even acting on, or they're acting on. You could switch these energies all you want. Acting on their instinct and trusting their intuition the way that you would expect them to trust yours, right? It would drive you crazy if you're like yelling at somebody and warning them. And I feel like you've been in this position, and maybe this is your position right now. You've been warning somebody over and over again. It's like, just trust me. I know this is a leap of faith for you, but believe me, you got to leap this way. Give with gratitude and grace, and then clear out the clutter. So there's been too much. There's been an overindulgence. There's the part of the infection is that somebody's been too kind, like giving too much, doing too much. And that's going to be a surefire way to pick out where you got to get the fuck away from. Any kind of overindulgence or person who is overindulging you. Just saying. Sagittarius. You can go to Vimeo now if you want, but I love the angel messages, so hang out with me for the angel messages. Let's see what the angels have to say. Prayer. No matter how difficult the situation may seem, all is possible. Ask. We are listening, including for help. Harmony. Disharmony occurs when we try to resist life's natural flow. Everything has its cycle. Every stage of life has its own unique meaning and purpose. Every day can be harmonious if we want it to be. But that takes what? Listening. Harmony is 100% about hearing. Diversity. The world would be a boring place if we were all the same. Celebrate your uniqueness. You are special and much loved. This is also a sense of change. Be different out loud if you have to be. This week especially. Like, be different out loud. Don't be afraid to be yourself, because ultimately I think that's what's going to burn away people who are not sincere parts of your life. Because sincere you might make things really uncomfortable, and like they may be basing their obsessive attachment to you on not really knowing who you really are. So a secret to your success could just be expose who you really are. Instead of seeing the current situation as an obstacle, try seeing it as an adventure. Explore all the possibilities. There are many more than you currently imagine. Instead of seeing things as either black or white, try to explore all the colors in between. So there is definitely more than meets the eye to this circumstance. Healing. I, the angel of healing, am with you right now. Feel my presence and my unwavering love for you. I have loved you before the dawn of time, and I will love you for all eternity. Do it now. Don't put it off any longer. Have courage. Listen to your intuition, for it is the guiding voice of your soul. Don't ask, don't hesitate. When I first said, do it now, what's the first thought that came to your mind? Even if it's go take a shit, then go take a shit. Do it now. It's about showing spirit that you're listening. Now, let's go into tarot. The link is below. We're going to ask all those specifics and clarify everything here. I will see you guys in the extended.